Have you ever stood in the grocery store staring at the fruit section, wondering whether something as healthy as a banana or an orange could actually be the wrong choice for your kidneys? If you've been diagnosed with stage 3 chronic kidney disease, you may have felt overwhelmed by conflicting advice. One person tells you to eat more fruit because it's healthy. Another warns you that fruit contains too much potassium. Before long, you're afraid to eat foods you've enjoyed your entire life. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and today we're going to clear up much of that confusion with practical, evidence-based information. One of the biggest misconceptions about kidney disease is that all fruits are either completely safe or completely off-limits. The truth is much more nuanced. During this video, I'll explain why some fruits are often easier to include in a kidney-friendly eating pattern than others, why portion size matters just as much as the type of fruit you choose, and later I'll reveal one surprisingly common mistake that many people with stage 3 kidney disease make every day without even realizing it. Understanding that mistake could help you make more informed choices the next time you plan your meals. Welcome back. If this is your first visit to our channel, we're delighted you're here. Our mission is to help adults over 50 better understand nutrition, healthy aging, and chronic medical conditions using practical, science-based information. Remember, every person with kidney disease is different, so today's discussion is educational and should never replace the advice of your nephrologist or registered renal dietitian. Let's begin with an important fact. Your kidneys work around the clock to filter waste products, help regulate fluid balance, and maintain healthy levels of minerals such as potassium, sodium, and phosphorus. When someone develops stage 3 chronic kidney disease, kidney function is reduced but often still able to perform many of these essential tasks. That's why nutrition becomes so important. The goal isn't simply to avoid certain foods. It's to support overall health while helping reduce unnecessary strain on the kidneys. Here's something many people don't realize. Not everyone with stage 3 kidney disease needs to avoid high potassium foods. Some people continue to have completely normal potassium levels, while others may need to limit potassium based on blood test results. That's why it's so important not to eliminate foods unnecessarily. Your healthcare provider will usually recommend dietary adjustments based on your individual laboratory values, medications, and overall health, rather than using one universal diet for everyone. Now let's talk about some fruits that are often easier to include in a kidney-friendly eating plan when portions are appropriate and potassium levels are being monitored. Apples are a wonderful example. They're naturally low in sodium, provide fiber, and are relatively lower in potassium than many tropical fruits. They're also easy to enjoy as a snack, sliced into oatmeal or added to salads. Berries are another excellent option. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries provide antioxidants, vitamin C, and fiber while generally containing moderate amounts of potassium. Research continues to explore how antioxidant-rich foods may support overall health, making berries a colorful addition to many balanced eating plans. Grapes are another fruit that many people with stage 3 kidney disease can often enjoy in reasonable portions. They're refreshing, naturally sweet, and easy to include as a snack. Pears are another popular choice because they provide fiber and can fit into many kidney-friendly meal plans depending on individual nutritional needs. Peaches, plums, pineapples, and cherries may also fit into a balanced eating pattern for many people. The key message isn't that these fruits are good while others are bad. Instead, it's understanding that variety, portion size, and your individual laboratory results all matter. That's why personalized guidance is so valuable. Now let's discuss fruits that sometimes require a little more attention. Bananas, oranges, mangoes, dried fruits, and avocados naturally contain more potassium than some other fruits. That doesn't automatically mean you can never eat them. For some people, especially those whose blood potassium remains normal, moderate portions may still fit into an individualized meal plan. For others with elevated potassium levels, healthcare providers may recommend limiting these foods. The decision depends on your specific medical situation rather than internet lists or social media advice. Here's where the hidden mistake begins to appear. Many people focus entirely on whether a fruit is high or low in potassium but completely ignore portion size. Eating several servings of even a lower potassium fruit throughout the day may provide far more potassium than expected. On the other hand, enjoying a carefully measured portion of a higher potassium fruit may sometimes fit into a personalized nutrition plan if your healthcare provider says it's appropriate. Portion awareness often matters just as much as food selection itself. Another important consideration is processed fruit products. Fruit juices, canned fruit packed in heavy syrup, sweetened dried fruit, and fruit snacks often contain added sugars while providing less fiber than fresh fruit. Whole fruits are generally a better choice because the natural fiber helps support digestive health and slows the absorption of natural sugars. I'd like to ask you something because everyone's journey with kidney disease is unique. Which fruit do you enjoy the most? Apples, berries, grapes, pears, peaches, or something else entirely? Share your favorite in the comments. Your ideas may help someone else discover a healthy option they hadn't considered before. Before we continue, remember the promise I made at the beginning. I said I'd reveal one of the most common mistakes people with stage 3 kidney disease make without realizing it. In the second half of this video, we'll uncover that mistake completely, discuss hydration, reading nutrition labels, balancing fruit with the rest of your meals, and explain why working closely with your healthcare provider and renal dietitian is one of the smartest decisions you can make for protecting your kidney health over the long term. Now let's continue with the important mistake I mentioned earlier, because it's one that many people with stage 3 chronic kidney disease make without even realizing it. The mistake isn't simply eating the wrong fruit. It's trying to manage kidney disease by focusing on one food instead of looking at the overall eating pattern. Your kidneys don't respond to a single apple or a handful of berries in isolation. They respond to everything you eat and drink throughout the day, along with your medications, your activity level, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, and your overall health. For example, someone may avoid every banana and orange because they've heard those fruits contain potassium, yet they continue eating large amounts of highly processed foods that are loaded with sodium. Excess sodium can contribute to higher blood pressure, and controlling blood pressure is one of the most important ways to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. That's why many kidney specialists encourage patients to pay close attention to sodium intake, in addition to discussing potassium, phosphorus, and protein with their healthcare team. Hydration is another area that often creates confusion. Many people assume drinking as much water as possible will automatically improve kidney function. In reality, hydration needs vary depending on your medical condition. For many people with stage 3 kidney disease, drinking enough fluids to stay well hydrated is appropriate, but some individuals with heart failure or other conditions may need to limit fluids. The safest approach is to follow the personalized advice of your healthcare provider rather than relying on one-size-fits-all recommendations. Let's also talk about reading nutrition labels, because this simple habit can make a meaningful difference. Packaged foods may contain surprisingly high amounts of sodium, added sugars, or phosphorus additives that aren't obvious at first glance. Taking a few extra moments to compare labels can help you choose products that better support your overall health. Over weeks, months, and years, these small decisions often add up to meaningful benefits. Another helpful strategy is thinking about balance instead of restriction. Rather than asking, "Can I ever eat this fruit again?" try asking, "How can this fruit fit into my overall meal plan?" Pairing fruit with other nutritious foods, paying attention to portion size, and spreading your intake throughout the day may be more helpful than labeling foods as completely good or completely bad. This balanced mindset often reduces stress and makes healthy eating more enjoyable and sustainable. Blood sugar management is equally important, especially because diabetes is one of the leading causes of chronic kidney disease. Whole fruits generally provide fiber and valuable nutrients, but portion size still matters if you're managing diabetes. Choosing whole fruit instead of fruit juice is often beneficial because the fiber in whole fruit helps slow the absorption of natural sugars. Your healthcare provider or registered dietitian can help you determine the portions that work best for your individual health goals. Exercise may not seem directly related to fruit, but it plays an important role in overall kidney health. Regular physical activity supports heart health, helps manage blood pressure, improves insulin sensitivity, and contributes to maintaining a healthy weight. You don't need an intense workout program. Even walking, swimming, gentle cycling, or light strength training can provide meaningful health benefits when performed consistently and safely. I'd like to ask you another question because learning from one another is one of the best parts of this community. Since being diagnosed with kidney disease, what healthy habit has made the biggest difference in your life? Was it reducing sodium, checking nutrition labels, exercising more regularly, cooking more meals at home, or working with a dietitian? Share your experience in the comments because your story could encourage someone who is just beginning this journey. Now let's return to the promise I made at the beginning of this video. I said I'd explain one of the biggest mistakes people with stage 3 kidney disease often make. The answer is believing that one food determines the health of their kidneys. In reality, long-term kidney health depends on the combination of many daily habits. Choosing appropriate portions of fruit, limiting excess sodium when recommended, managing blood pressure and blood sugar, staying physically active, taking medications as prescribed, attending regular medical appointments, and following personalized dietary advice all work together. No single fruit can heal damaged kidneys, and no single fruit automatically causes kidney failure. It's the overall pattern that matters most. Perhaps the most encouraging message is this: a diagnosis of stage 3 chronic kidney disease does not mean you can never enjoy food again. Many people continue to eat a wide variety of delicious meals while successfully managing their condition. The key is understanding your individual nutritional needs rather than relying on fear or misinformation. Knowledge replaces uncertainty, and confidence often grows when you understand why certain recommendations are made. As you begin making thoughtful choices one meal at a time, you may notice something unexpected. Healthy eating starts feeling less like a list of restrictions and more like an investment in your future. You may feel more confident planning meals, shopping for groceries, and discussing nutrition with your healthcare team. Those small moments of confidence can make living with a chronic condition feel much more manageable. If there's one message I hope stays with you after today's conversation, it's this: don't fear fruit, understand it. The best fruit for someone with stage 3 kidney disease depends on their laboratory results, overall health, medications, and individualized nutrition plan. By working closely with your nephrologist and a registered renal dietitian, you can make informed decisions that support both your kidneys and your overall well-being. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope this discussion has helped you feel more informed and less overwhelmed about making healthy food choices with stage 3 kidney disease. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may also be living with kidney disease. Together, we can continue learning practical, evidence-based ways to support healthy aging and make everyday decisions with greater confidence. Until next time, take good care of yourself, stay informed, and remember that lasting health is built through small, consistent choices